Hey, let me go get my Christmas stuff, honey. What if they decided to buy it without an inspection? So they have no idea why they're...
Hey guys, it's your boy Donovan Johnson, back with my wonderful co-host,
Scott Werner. Hey, Donovan, today, what are we talking about? Because guess what? We talking about it deep.
We're talking about something that isn't as applicable right now in our market because it's a buyer's market, not a seller's market.
You're right.
But we're going to talk about waiving everything.
Wait, you can waive inspections?
Just like everything's a negotiation in real estate, bro, you can waive inspections, appraisals, contingencies. A lot of people sometimes are contingent, like gotta sell their house before they can buy this one.
Yeah.
Some people, if they get in a crunch bad enough in a good enough seller's market.
I mean, I can understand waiving maybe the appraisal if it's a cash offer, but inspections, you get like I'm sorry, I don't understand waiving inspections. You're just going to trust the people that they did the PCD correctly? When I say PCD, I mean the property condition disclosure. You're just going to trust them and say, hey, look, this is my new BFF right here. You answered everything correctly? Your Honor. No, I didn't. I mean,
Hey, now that you say that, there's been like 3 times a fire hasn't been in the PCD, but an inspection reveals a very obvious.
yeah.
Even if it's not structurally damaged anymore, that's super important to know.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, how many times do the sellers get in their attic and look through their attic? I mean, most people nowadays don't get in their attic. Christmas stuff. Hey, let me go get my Christmas stuff, honey. And guess what? What if they don't know? What if they decided to buy it without an inspection? So they have no idea why there's white paint in their attic encapsulating the smell of the fire.
Right.
They could be like, what the heck is this? Because not all fire is like charred, structure eating flames.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be wick with flames, but they still encapsulate it with the paint so it doesn't smell. I mean, that to me, I think is just a crazy thing to say, hey, I'm buying a $250,000 house. I'm going to waive inspections. That's crazy to me. We talked about it earlier. If you want to waive inspections on something that you know that you're going to have to rehab, okay, get your contractor friend in there and say, how much is this going to cost me? And you know you got it at a good price. I can understand that. But on something that you're not going to touch, I would want an inspection. I get that it happens, and guess what? It even happens in bad markets. This guy that I watch on TikTok, Joseph Bograd, like in Pennsylvania, gets these people to waive inspections all the time. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I can't. I can't. Do I feel like I'm doing my duty as an agent to my client if I say, hey, look, let's waive inspections? Now, guess what? It happens. I just don't know if Scott Werner can be doing it. But hey, look, I was not an agent during that time that Southwest Louisiana was hustling, and I came on the trail end of that. Who knows? I might be like, well, let's go for it, because when the money's the money, you gotta pivot and make that money. To me, I just waiving everything just is a little scary.
And if you waive inspections, like, get it in writing. Your office should have a standard form that says, or you could just easily write up a blank addendum and be like, buyer has waived the right of inspection period and agrees to proceed with all the other terms and conditions of the contract. Like, you can do that, but it's only to protect you, because if something backfires and they try and sue you and your E&O, even though we have a $1 million E&O policy per each agent, like,
An E&O, just stop. Errors and omissions.
Air and emissions insurance. It's something that you have to have as a Louisiana real estate agent. Just like in Louisiana, you got to have car insurance.
Yeah.
Same difference.
No, I mean, I actually just put one active under contract, and I looked at the offer, and they said 2 days for
Inspection.
inspections.
What you gonna do in 2 days?
That's what I said. So maybe, I mean, but I had the seller, they had the buyer.
Oh, I'm signing that.
Exactly. I was like, did they mean to put 20 and they just forgot a zero? So guess what? I said, we're signing it. We actually counted it, but we got it signed. And guess what? The second offer once again said 2 days. I'm like, what are you going to do in 2 days? You're not getting an inspector out there. So, I mean, it does happen. It is part of real estate. I think just hey, if a seller says, I mean, real estate agents coming in and saying during this time we can ask for 40,000 above any other offer that's out there, and we're waiving contingencies and waiving inspections and getting the deal done, then you're getting the deal done. I'm not saying that it's not legal. I just, in my mind, am like, I just don't know how Scott Warner would buy a house without an inspection on it. Doesn't mean I won't represent a person wanting to buy a house. That's what I do. It's just like in my mind, Scott Warner. But hey, when people want to waive things, it's up to them to waive it.
It is two things. One, I think it's about us not being the emotional character in this, because
You're right.
man, people see a house and fall in love with it when that house, in theory, I mean, most people have it for what, 5 years or less is the stat right now for like our area at least. So one, it's not a long term play, and even if people think it's their dream home, I'm sure they're gonna dream another dream or have another kid, kids with an S, like outgrow the home.
Like we were saying, right now is not that market, but in a hot market, buyers are desperate. Buyers want to, they might waive it.
Thing that scares me about waiving everything, and there's a good chance you're overpaying for the property as well. So again, we're not just supposed to protect you on the front end, the back end post sale. When you want to sell, if you bought for too high and the appreciation rate is lower than what you bought it for, and they're not on the right paths, then you're going to be looking at us maybe with like an FU when, dude, I was trying to protect you. I was thinking about the future when we were still in the present back then. So
There's a house on the market that I know of. I won't say who has it and I won't say where it is, but the sellers were trying to do it FISBO and they did overpay. And then they were asking way too much for the market and for the neighborhood. And I was like, oof. Now they have it with an agent and they've come down like $60,000. And I still think it's too high. And I'm like, gosh, if you buy and waive all these things and buy $40,000 over, just be ready on the back end that as agents, if we say, hey, look, you might want to, you might not want to waive everything, you might not want to pay, this might not be the house. If you tell us to do it, we're going to do it because you're the captain of the ship. But let me be the rudder and at least steer you in the right direction.
and I feel like with I could see you doing this, but I mean, you could always also just walk away from something if you really, really are uncomfortable with waiving everything, you know?
Yeah.
Or refer it out to somebody. I just
Yeah. I don't have the problem referring it out to the person, to another person. But once again, it's all hypothetical until it happens. But can you imagine waiving inspection fees and maybe finding termites?
and that's a big ticket. That's a very big ticket item.
Yeah. I have to tear this wall down now because of termites. I mean, that's the thing. It is a love-hate relationship, but the thing is you have issues that you might not see without an inspector. I mean, I might feel comfortable walking around the property just because of my background of general construction and home inspection. And maybe that's why I would be a good agent to have during these times because I can officially, unofficially say what I see. But man, there's just big ticket items that you're waiving.
Yeah. And just if I can sum everything up real quick, is that we're talking about stuff in a seller's market right now. We're in very much a buyer's market, which means inventory's high. The supply is high, demand is low, and there's are the should I say it's the other way. I think I said that backwards.
So it's like since we're in a buyer's market,
Got you. Yeah. Since we're in a buyer's market and not a seller's market, like a lot of the topics we're talking about in this episode aren't relevant right now, but that's because of like a supply and demand issue, meaning that the help me out here.
Demand.
No, the buyers.
So the demand is low, the supply is high, and that's because it's a buyer's market because people are waiting for that 2.5% interest to be where, truthfully, and I mean, finish your thing. So
And
after 3 takes,
after 3 takes,
60 seconds later, the demand for houses right now is very low and the supply is very high because we are in the buyer's market. But like we said, this is all hypothetical, and this podcast is for hypothetical things. Not every time, but sometimes, just to show the flip side of the coin.
Absolutely.
Because it will flip at one point in time. I mean, truthfully, as I was saying, right now everybody's keeping on to their 2.5%. I promise you, well, I can't promise, but I almost fully 100% believe that if the feds dropped the interest rate 0.5% and it was trending downward, I think us as agents we couldn't breathe.
yeah.
People are waiting to get rid of their houses. They're just waiting for the right time. So, once again, guys, thank you for joining us. Real Talk Real Estate. Like it, subscribe, put the thumbs up. Hey, look, I love everybody that says, I like your clips. Come on, give me a thumbs up. I know you like it because I'm fun to watch. So is this guy.
Thank y'all once again. Appreciate it.